fix this.
My hot stereo.
Oh.
It's for you to listen go. You might never know. Man, you just can't sing songs like that anymore.
No,
you
you
know?
just can't.
Whatever happened? Now we're singing about
Love
Sing
is dead.
singing about drugs and wearing your pants down low.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maroon 5. Wait, it says here song by Gym Class Heroes. But I guess
I feel
Adam
like-
Levine is in it, featuring
yeah.
Adam Levine.
Yeah, and he really is the
Yeah,
heart and
most
soul
of it.
Maroon 5.
And apparently also of Gym Class Heroes. Because I don't know, like, I guess they're rapping on it, but it's like,
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's what they did. They were like rappers.
yeah. If I was just another dusty record on the shelf.
Take me out, blame it to everybody else. It's a
Yeah.
good song. It's a
Yeah.
good song. Just a good one.
It's a good one.
Do you hear? It honestly ended up being a good thing I had my car.
Mm.
But I feel like the bus drivers in this town, they don't. There's a
This is good.
fundamental
get a rant
misunderstanding
going. Yeah.
about what their job is.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a misnomer because
Uh-huh.
they're called bus drivers.
Uh-huh.
Your job is
You're
not
mostly,
to drive the bus.
You're a bus
okay?
waiter.
Yeah, your job is to ferry people
Uh-huh.
from one place to the next.
That's true.
It's
That's
not
true.
to just drive it as fast as
yeah,
you
exactly.
can along
Yeah.
the route. That's insane. That's insane behavior from the bus driver.
And yeah, like you can tell just from like also the way that they handle themselves in like confrontations with other drivers. Like they're
Yeah.
trying to get from point A to point B
Oh yeah.
as quickly as possible, which is like the job of like a normal driver. But that's not really the job of like a person who's
No.
conveying this like, you know, public service. Like a bunch of people are in this
Yeah,
car.
I mean you are. Yeah,
Maybe you don't
you're
get,
you're
like,
a city
into a
employee.
road rage
You know,
incident.
you're not
Yeah.
you're not a speed racer. And
Uh-huh.
and it's crazy because you're not allowed to criticize bus drivers.
No.
It's like
yeah.
a holy profession.
Well, the thing is, like, in like whatever, UK, Europe, you can criticize people all the time, but that's because they have like, you know, they
Yeah.
have unions like that.
yeah.
Like here, we don't let people have unions.
Yeah.
But like, there is still like to replace that, we have to have this idea of like, oh, you know, the heroes and the whatever. Like
Uh-huh.
we create these like symbolic.
Thank you for
Exactly,
driving
yeah.
me, bus driver.
We create these like symbolic gestures to like compensate them for
Yeah.
us treating them
Because
horribly.
you think about it,
economically.
it's like, what is this saintly aura of the bus driver? Because the bus driver is taking people who either one
Yeah.
have no other means of transportation other than the bus,
Mhm.
and they have to get on the bus. They have to go on the bus,
Mhm.
or it's people who have other means of transportation, but they want to take the bus to help the climate.
Sure.
So
Nerds.
Who's the real saint in that situation? It's not the bus driver.
Oh, it's the people on the.
Yeah, that's where I was going with this. It's the people who take the bus. It's
Yeah.
the struggling working class
Okay,
Joes
yeah.
who need to take the bus.
Yeah.
Or it's the people who are so noble they're giving up their car to take the bus.
Yeah, not like these highfalutin, practically limousine drivers.
Yeah.
You know, which is that.
Yeah.
That's who you want to be in a
Uh-huh.
limousine. You want to be the person driving it. You know.
They're not sitting out in the hot, horrid
Yeah.
weather waiting.
Yeah.
They're just in the bus.
I mean, we talk so much about car culture. You know, the
Uh-huh.
horrible ways it's being propagated. Who's propagating it more than these people driving these huge ass fucking cars?
Yeah.
You know. We talk. Oh, this guy. Oh, he's a big Ford F-150. He's compensating for something. Look at this bus. What is he
How large
compensating
this
for?
bus is.
It's huge. It's a
Yeah.
huge bus. You know.
And I just, it's this weird like enemy mentality where they don't want to pick you up.
No, they don't.
They're
want
going to
you.
do everything in their
Yeah.
power to not pick you up.
Yeah. Well, because having more people on the bus would slow the bus down, just gravity
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to drive as fast.
They can't
yeah.
go as fast. Yeah, yeah.
Because I don't know.
They
it's
want
like,
no one in the bus.
You can be 10 feet from the bus stop.
Mm.
Okay, the bus driver, you make eye contact with the bus driver.
We've all seen
They
the
speed
beginning
up.
of
They speed up.
Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movie.
We've seen it, yeah.
He missed the bus. Wait a second.
I'm late for school.
I'm late for school. That's what Tobey Maguire sounds like.
Yeah.
In real life also.
Yeah. We know him personally.
We're in his
Because
entourage.
we're celebrities. We're
Yeah,
also
we're-
B-list celebrities.
We're in his B-list celebrity entourage.
Yeah.
We're the two problematic ones. It's pretty good.
It's fun times. It's fun times all around.
Yeah, he's the one with like the weird, like not maybe I'm thinking of James Franco. I feel like it's like a weird personal life. I guess it's a lot of
I think that
celebrities.
is James. Well,
That could be
James Franco's done.
every male celebrity.
James Franco.
He's done?
Is axed. Yeah.
What did he do? If I may ask,
I actually don't.
if I'm allowed to
know.
ask
I
you,
think-
personal friend of
Yeah,
James
right.
Franco, maybe you want to keep
feel
that to
comfortable
yourself.
speaking
Yeah,
on it.
Exactly.
And I do.
Yeah.
I
Fuck
think
that
it was
guy.
like dating younger women or something. Something. Yeah, he was weird. He did something weird.
Mm.
Like weirder on a scale of like Adam Levine to
harmless, awesome Adam Levine
to Diddy. It's like
Ooh. Yeah.
probably in the middle. It's probably in the middle.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, middle. I'm a centrist, you know.
Right.
I don't know if I want to be in the middle of those two men, personally.
Sure.
In the middle of Adam Levine and P. Diddy.
I could only, I mean, it only is fair to compare two artists, two music artists.
That's true.
Know?
That's true. Because they're in a different class of society.
Yeah. Apparently, the rules are different. For
the
them.
rules are different. You can get away with a lot more.
I mean, as Drake said, you know, if he was really doing all this shit, I mean, how would he be getting away with it?
How would he be?
He's such a public figure.
You know, Drake is not a name you're going to find in the registry.
No, you're not going to find it there. Because powerful men have never once been caught, you know, slipping up.
It's true. Speaking of power and powerful, I don't know. Hawk the Slayer.
Yep, Hawk the Slayer.
Hawk the Slayer.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Hawk the Slayer.
We're just two buddies discussing fantasy. Oh God, it's Sorta Sorcery.
I don't know.
It's Sorta Sorcery.
Yep, you're listening now.
The #1 podcast for, I guess, magic swords, like kind of sentient magic swords that like, don't really do much. Yeah.
I mean, this really is a textbook example of a sword and sorcery movie that seems to be lacking in both the sword and the sorcery department.
Well, and you know, maybe you could see how typical it is of the sword and sorcery genre from the opening title thing. It's this description of, you know, it's a time where, you know, heroes must cut through the darkness with their magic sword through like the legions of darkness. It's a description of every single sword and sorcery film
so far. I mean, it was what Barbarians, where man, woman, and child ruled by the sword.
I mean, that's just kind of sick. I mean,
that's sicker than this.
It's sicker than this.
But they want to make it seem like this is that kind of a world, and I'm just not sure that it is.
Well, yeah, because we'll talk about certain elements of the setting which, you know, are religiously interesting. I guess.
Yeah. See, this is what I like about this one, at least. We're getting closer to like not the quote unquote real world.
Yeah.
I don't want to, you know, who is to draw such a distinction between fiction and reality. But you're gonna see some elements that seem very familiar. From your daily life, perhaps.
If
you are perhaps a nun who lives in an abbey, this will be very reminiscent.
A big movie for you. Big movie for the nun community. But yeah, so we're in a forest and there's like this horse rider guy. He's like, you know, wearing a cloak.
Isn't he always?
He draws his sword. And like there's, you know, fun little medieval music happening. It plays through the setting. That's what it sounds like.
It's like sort of Valiant if it was like a little better,
good,
honestly, a little better.
At the beginning of the movie, the music's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say flat out, the score is the best thing about this movie.
Oh yeah, I mean, easy.
And it's not even close.
The score and like some of the dialogue at the beginning.
Yeah.
So there's this guy like, you know, kind of standing over like a boiling pool, and then like he gets busted in on by like the rider on the horse. And he's like, "Oh, give me the secret." And the boiling pot guy's like, "No, I don't want to."
Yeah. See, you know, you couldn't ask me a question like that and expect a decent answer.
Give me the secret.
Give me the secret.
I feel like if you ask nice enough, if you ask like, "Oh, give me the secret, please."
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you.
Excuse me, good sir.
Good sir. Hey, Dad.
Hey, Dad.
Give me the secret.
Hey, Dad. Give me the secret.
Yeah, because this writer guy, he's like the eldest son. He demands the secret.
Allegedly, he's the eldest son. Does he look 10 years older than his quote unquote father?
Sure.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, the actor, his name's Voltan.
Well, the actor's name isn't Voltan.
The actor playing Voltan is like this, like, you know, he's an older chap, an older gentleman,
an older gent.
Yes,
he's aged like fine wine, of course.
But, you know, Sorta Sorcery, we have a very strict anti-ageism policy.
It's true.
So we're really not even allowed to like notice age at all.
No, we don't see age.
We don't really see it. But, you know, if we watch this movie, you might see it. You might be confronted with the ravages of time.
Yeah. If anyone was ravaged by time, it was this guy. But you know, being evil, it does things. It ruins your skin.
That's true. Just look at any influencers. They're all amazing people,
right?
Because their skin is so smooth. Yeah. And you know, kills the bad guy, or the Voltan bad guy kills the dad, good guy.
Why would he kill his dad?
Why would he kill his dad?
Uncouth.
And there's this guy. He's like he's banging on the door and he's trying to get in, but he gets in like right after the dad dies. And he's like, "Oh, father," because he's also a son of this.
Yeah,
this
right.
guy.
I guess anyone can just be within the context of the story related to anyone else.
Yeah,
despite how they look.
And it's like there's a whole protracted sequence that happens next. Like as the dad character is dying, he's like, "Oh, with my last breaths, I must give you a command." And then like he proceeds like to go on like a 7-minute thing, like walking the main guy Hawk through this I don't even know, ritual to like activate the sword.
Yeah.
There's this like glowing gem that he needs to like connect with his mind, and then place that gem like into the hilt of the sword, and then like kind of float the sword around, and then like now it's like a mind sword.
Yeah.
Because it was a mind stone you put in the sword.
You put the mind stone in the sword, yeah.
We all know how that works.
I mean,
the last elven
if you
mind
have a
stone.
sword and the hilt of the sword is a hand, an open hand.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Of course, something's supposed to go in there.
Yeah, because like the hand like opens and then like kind of like furls, like closes around the
which is about the
stone.
coolest the effects we'll get in this movie.
It's pretty cool. And like when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a movie. This is gonna be like a real movie." Awesome. Because the music is good. And the direction at first seems very like avant-garde, like the way that it cuts from one shot to the next is like interesting.
It's interesting, yeah.
It reminded me a lot of like the A24 Green Knight movie, like with the cuts at certain points. But then maybe
the similarities perhaps in there.
Super intentional, the avant-garde nature of it. Maybe it's just
just shot weird.
Yeah. But he has this magic sword now. And the dad character is just he dies. Like he slumps over after.
What a sad way to go.
I guess fighting off death for like 7 minutes.
Yeah. Well, it's just they really embrace the trope of like the slow monologue death.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I don't know. And there's no blood effects at all ever in this movie, so you'll never know when someone is dying unless they're like overacting pain.
Yeah. And speaking of overacting, Hawk declares, "Voltan, you shall die by the sword." So now we know what his
cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're gonna kill Voltan.
Yeah, we're gonna kill Voltan. A hawk flies at the screen, and then we cut to we cut to the title, Hawk the Slayer, and then just like a bunch of credits.
And you're bought in. And then they run through all the credits.
Every single person.
Just like all of them.
Who even walked past the movie set.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it is just
the coffee guy.
Out. This is a shout out track. This is their version of a shout out track, a la Kanye West. I don't know why I referenced Kanye. I don't know why I did.
Could have been anyone.
Could have been anyone. Whatever. Moving on. So there's this like battle happening. It's like crossbow wielding guy who's like horribly wounded. And he limps away from the battle. He gets to like a nunnery.
That's where I go for safety.
That's where you go for safety. And they like nurse him back to health. And like apparently, as he's like asleep, as he's out, he's like saying these horrible things that like the nuns can't even comprehend just how horrible it is.
My village, the women, the children, everyone dead.
So they're like, when he wakes up, they're like, "What the fuck were you talking about? Like, what was going on?" And he gives this whole monologue. Yeah, my village, the women and children, everybody just kind of got fucked up. I'm the last person alive because of this man, this devil, Voltan.
Yeah.
So Voltan, he's doing bad stuff. He's going around.
See, I wouldn't want to be the last person alive because I feel like it reflects really poorly on your character.
Yeah, right. Like you didn't go down swinging.
You ran. You ran away.
Because like he could have stuck around, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe not as a victim blame.
That's victim blame.
Oh, we also have a policy against victim blaming.
We do.
On the Sorta Sorcery podcast.
But it's like, I don't know, protect the women and the children.
Yeah.
I would like the last person alive to be either a woman or a child.
Preferably, yeah. I would like the survivor to not just be like
some guy, presumably like a military guy.
Because he has like a crossbow, and he has he uses the crossbow to great effect.
Yeah, later. He does.
And you think like if he had that same ability just throughout the,
just keep shooting,
until
you go down.
Yeah, but maybe
it's all right. We we don't all have to be courageous.
I guess so. But yeah, I guess like. I don't even know, like, he gets nursed back to health. He's fine.
Yeah.
And then at that same moment, Voltan busts
Voltan rolls
up. And crossbow guy, he has another chance to be courageous. He gets up, he points his crossbow at Voltan, then just immediately Voltan throws
a dagger at him. And this is it's the Voltan special.
Yeah, that's
kind of like how the Grievous special was like a dick kick.
Kicking a guy in the nuts. And then,
distracting a guy, kicking him in the dick.
Yeah.
The Voltan special is just throwing a knife at you really fucking fast.
Yeah.
He'll turn around and be like, "Oh, I guess you've got me." Hi-ya! And throw the knife like really fucking fast.
And that's just street fighting. That's just good.
It's good stuff.
What you got to do. You got to have a dagger in your cloak.
Yeah, right. Just throw it.
Fling it at a guy.
How he got off that dagger before the other guy could pull the trigger on the crossbow,
crazy.
I don't know.
Crazy.
He's just good. He's nice.
He's good like that. Or fucking like Renolf or whatever.
Yeah, Rudolph.
Horrible. Yeah, Rudolph. The crossbowman is just bad at his job. But yeah, so Voltan, for whatever reason, takes the main nun.
He wants a ransom.
Yeah, he wants a ransom for gold.
Yeah, 2,000 gold pieces. I mean, that seems like a.
But he's
you can do a lot with 2,000 gold pieces.
Dark Lord, he's referred to as the Dark One. What does he want gold?
Because he wears, he wears black.
He wears black.
Yeah, he's actually a completely normal guy.
Yeah.
He's actually just an average Joe.
He's an average Joe. Yeah. So he takes the lady, and Renolf is like, "Oh fuck, okay, I gotta get this ransom money. Where am I gonna get it from? I'm gonna get it from the abbot. We all know
he's gonna care, I think, about this issue.
Catholicism. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is. You're thinking, oh, is this like a fantasy religion?
Yeah, like in Berserk. But no.
No. This is our Lord Christ.
Yeah.
His religion.
Yeah. People have crosses and stuff. Yeah.
And they're talking about God all the time. It's just the same God.
Yeah,
but we have here,
not really used to any particular effect, which is interesting.
Well, they set up this good and evil dichotomy early on because there's all this mention of the devil, not a devil, he's a devilish guy, but no, the devil.
Yeah.
Doesn't really come up.
No, I guess the devil just wants gold. I guess that.
Well, greedy guy, the devil. He's like a dragon. He sits on his pile of gold.
He's like Smog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
Smaug.
Smag.
But yeah, so he rocks up to the abbot. He's like, "Hey man, I know you have a policy against not negotiating with terrorists. We got to negotiate with some terrorists. Give me some money.
Come on."
The abbot's like, "Okay, I'm not gonna do that for you, but there's this guy, this really good warrior guy. I'm gonna hook you up with him. Here's his name, Hawk the Slayer. Here's his LinkedIn. Whatever. Get in contact.
Connect. Get a connection.
Get a connection. So." That's cool. Hawk, I guess, has been doing stuff.
Yeah, he's up to
sword.
Good stuff.
And you when you know that this guy has a sword that is magic.
Yep.
And he can use his mind to just make the sword go anywhere. It's when it's introduced, he flings it back into his hand. So you assume he can just whatever.
He can control it.
He can control it fully. He can go anywhere. And they say it's bound by the power of his own creativity. Okay, awesome. We're creative guys.
Now here's the thing. Yeah, I based on the acting you see in just the first scene alone, do I think that John Terry playing Hawk? Do I think that either he or his character would be very imaginative? Perhaps not.
Perhaps not.
It is a dull performance.
Well, we cut over to him. He's in a dull forest, being a dull man.
Yeah.
But he comes across a very non-dull thing. It's a fire, and in that fire is a witch. And
classic.
Yeah, so there's some two guys burning a witch, and she's like, "Oh no, I'm not a witch. Please help me."
Well, that's the thing though. She never actually denies that she's a witch.
She doesn't, but she just says, "Oh, I was trying to heal your pig."
Yeah, because the guy's like, she did witchcraft on the pig. She's like, but it was nice. Nice witchcraft.
Yeah, I was trying to heal it. If you would let me do my stuff fully, it would have been fine. But they're like, "Oh, we don't believe you. I guess you're a witch, and you were trying to kill our animals
our
for
hog?
Some reason."
I don't know.
Seemed pretty small potatoes for a witch, but whatever. I'm not a townsperson. I wouldn't know.
What do you know about such things?
Yeah. I can't speak on these delicate issues.
Funny.
But yeah, so Hawk. He's a modern Renaissance man.
Oh yeah.
He won't stand by for this mistreatment
he won't.
of witches. They have there's a lot of like stare downs in this movie. It's imagine like a Western, like Clint Eastwood style, like cut to the eyes, cut to the other guy's eyes, cut back to your eyes, cut to your mind sword, cut back to his eyes.
Cut his eyes. Hold on your eyes one more time for 20 seconds. Because look, here's the thing. Normally on this podcast, as we move through the phases of sword and sorcery as a genre, we start harping on certain things less because you've seen it before.
Right.
And normally, sometimes we glaze over the action, sometimes we talk about it.
Sometimes we glaze the action.
Yeah, sometimes we glaze it hard. We're riding it like a circus.
Yeah, we are.
But in this movie, we're not riding it like a circus because, not because we just want to skip over it, but because it sucks.
Yeah.
Because the action sequences are either like non-existent, like it's just stare downs, that's the whole fight.
Yeah.
Or it's like really slow and poorly choreographed.
And it's also horribly edited sometimes.
Yeah, they cut around so quickly. I think because the scenes are so short and like the choreography is so like normal. Like we could have performed one of these fight scenes with no training at all.
Yeah.
They're just like randomly splicing shots together.
Yeah. So whatever. Hawk beats these two goons. He's not going to lose to two goons at the beginning of the movie.
Not two goons.
And like the witch. Yeah, she like tells him that there's a guy looking for him, Ranulph, like a one-handed man, and he's like, oh, okay, cool. So we cut back to Ranulph, and he's like getting mugged, also in the same forest.
Everything's going down in this forest.
Yeah, tricksters are about.
It seems like this world isn't even worth saving. I guess this is not like a world-ending conflict. It's just like a regular
it's just like
conflict.
It's like basically just like a baron. Like he's like a lord, I guess.
Yeah.
Like Voltan, just kind of like hanging around, like doing mischief, getting gold.
But it does seem like it would just suck to live here.
Yeah.
Well, we see soon the evidence of just slaving.
Well,
happening.
yeah. But like the two muggers, they do the oldest trick in the book. They ask a guy on horseback. Ranulph is riding by. And he's like, the two guys are like, hey, can we get some directions? Like, how's it going? We're lost, but we're lost in this nebulous forest, man. Yeah. And then like when he stops, he's like, oh, okay, I'll help you. Ha! And then
yeah. There's like they have like a guy in the trees who's supposed to like snipe him.
Yeah, there's a guy like he has like a bow and arrow or something. He's supposed to snipe him, and then Ranulph just hits him with the crossbow.
Yeah.
And the guys are like, dude, you just killed our friend.
What the fuck, dude?
What's wrong with you?
Honestly, that's a really good setup.
It's good.
Because either your guy kills him, or he kills your guy, and suddenly he's a murderer. And now you have a reason to mug the fuck out of this guy.
Exactly. And because, what do you do with murderers? They tie him to a tree, and they see who can throw the crossbows, or throw hatchets closest to him. Silly.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would do.
And then Hawk, he comes and he sees this, and then as he does, he
puts a stop to it.
This
guy doesn't really like fun, does he?
Yeah, they're just having a bit of fun.
Yeah,
right?
Just a bit of fun.
Just boys have hobbies. So yeah, Hawk stops it because he doesn't have any hobbies besides this, I guess.
Yeah, his hobby is being a cop. That's his hobby.
Yeah, he is a cop, isn't he?
Yeah, super cop.
He's a super cop, a sword cop,
a mind sword cop.
Mind sword cop. Yeah. So yeah, there's more stare downs, and then Hawk stops it. Then we cut to Voltan, who's like intimidating some townspeople.
Yeah, I guess Voltan's also looking for Hawk.
Yeah, Hawk's looking for Voltan. Voltan's looking for Hawk.
And they're both also looking for gold.
Yeah, which is just a really good setup for like an aimless, awful plot for a movie. Because there's no like central place. There's no journey that either are like going towards.
No.
So in any scene, you have no idea of like how much closer you are to like the end of the movie, besides just seeing the runtime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
knowing that it must end at some point.
Knowing that we live in a world ruled by mercy, so the suffering,
all things will come to an end.
Must end. And Voltan puts an end to people's suffering.
Yeah, he does. Hey, but those are henchmen of the Hunchback.
The Hunchback.
I forgot what his name was. It was like something weird.
I feel like it was. I know he has a name, but they refer to him mostly as like the Hunchback.
Yeah.
Quasimodo. I was trying to think of.
Yeah, let's just go with Quasimodo.
Yeah, Quasimodo comes back in a big way.
Quasimodo's actually a slaver in this film.
Yeah.
He's turned very dark.
He didn't hook up with the GF Esmeralda. So instead,
he's taken up just this foul profession.
So cut back to like the crossbow guy and Hawk. Crossbow guy, like Ranulph is like, oh, have you ever fought Voltan? Flashback.
Boom, boom.
and Hawk's like making out with this lady, and Voltan busts in. He's like, "Why have you stolen the heart of my woman?
My wife, my soon-to-be wife."
Well, we didn't talk. Well, we weren't official.
I mean, we were gonna definitely.
We were
get married,
definitely
though.
thinking about talking.
I mean,
about
I had already in my mind made it up.
And she's like, "What? We're friends, dude. Like, what are you talking about?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, you've turned her heart against me.
You bastard!
You bastard!"
I mean, why even be friends with this guy?
Yeah,
you know?
There's such an
what does he even
insane
have
age
to offer in a
difference between these
friendship?
two. Yeah, like, what are you going to talk about? I don't know.
It is funny the idea that two brothers, one like 30 and one like 60,
yeah,
be fighting
going
over
for the same lady.
girl.
Yeah, very funny.
Very funny
Very
indeed.
funny. Yeah. So Voltan hits him with just the weirdest line in this film. Take care, little brother. Watch for me in the night.
And he walks away to the bush. Because he walked out of the bushes to ambush them. And then he just walks back into the bushes. Into the bush.
Yeah, it's the one like Homer Simpson meme. Comes out of the bushes, sinks back in.
I mean, terrifying. Terrifying thing to hear. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Watch for me in the night?
What, in fact, does it mean? Nothing. Nothing at all by the end.
I guess nothing. Yeah.
Nothing at all. I guess, well, we can think about it by the end.
Right.
But yeah, so Elaine gives Hawk like the cross necklace that he's wearing for the rest of the movie.
Yep.
Catholicism.
Will become important at some point, perhaps.
In a big way.
In a big way.
In a big way. You won't, listener, you can't even guess.
You won't even guess what this cross does.
Yeah, so Ranulph and Hawk travel into the Waygates from Wheel of Time.
Nice.
They travel into the Wheel of Time Waygates.
Nice.
For those of you not in the know, it's like a portal.
Yeah, it's like a stone arch.
It's like a stone
and you
arch.
walk in there.
Yeah, and you just kind of
you're in like a spooky place.
And I guess like he was using his mind sword to do it. Like the sword starts glowing.
Yeah,
and
he
then
activates it with the mind sword.
And he never does anything to that effect ever again. In the rest of the movie. So I guess it's just the gates are like attuned to the mind.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It does, it flies around, it floats around, and it opens these specific gates.
Yeah. And I guess we skip past this because these scenes are always weird and don't matter. But like Voltan has this like wizard boyfriend who like is fucking with him.
Yeah.
And like Voltan is very insecure about like disfigurement on his face.
It pains him.
And like the wizard hits him with like he's holding a green orb and it shoots like a green beam. A bing at him.
And it heals him, makes him feel all good inside.
Well, you think it heals him, but every time he goes like ah, he recoils.
That's the sound of healing.
He cringes in pain and fear.
It's like going to a chiropractor.
Yeah, that's what they do, right? They hold like a green orb at you.
Yeah, they do that right in your spine.
Yeah,
your fifth vertebrae.
Ah!
Oh,
so good.
Hurts so good.
Yeah, here's my insurance. I don't know.
You think they take insurance? They're not real doctors.
Yeah, those assholes. But yeah, so like I guess the wizard also has a mind stone. That was what I was thinking, but they never address it.
That's what it looks like, but that's left for the sequels.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that. So yeah, like within the like area, because it's literally, if you've read the Wheel of Time books, it is the Waygates. Like they go into this portal and they're in this like dark, kind of like corrupted area. It used to be like more, convenient, and it was like beautiful.
I mean, what does this scene even accomplish? Now that I think about it,
nothing. Just it makes me confused as a Wheel of Time reader. That's the only thing this scene does. Whatever, but yeah, they get from one place to another, but I don't even know what.
Yeah, I don't even know where they're going really. I guess to where the witch is.
Yeah, I guess to where the witch is. Cause they get to the witch and like I guess she's in on whatever Hawk's up to defeating Voltan.
She's down.
And she's like, to beat him, we're gonna have to get your team back together.
Bow, bow, bow,
bow. Now it's Ocean's 11. The rest of this movie is Ocean's 11. And yeah, so like first we got to get the giant.
Doop. Teleport him over there.
Doop. Giant's like doing odd jobs. He's fixing a cart for this guy. And like the guy's like, "Ooh, I'll pay you tomorrow." And the giant's like, "I know you're not going to." So he breaks the cart again.
Hilarious bit.
And then the weasel guy is like, "Oh no, I demand justice. You random men over there, just sitting over there,
sitting 10 feet away."
And when the scene opens, you think those random men are like
with one of the two.
Yeah, exactly.
People.
Not just like random guys just camped out.
Yeah.
But I guess they're just random guys camped out. Because the way the forest is laid out in this movie is so strange because like people will like just be in open clearings, but they're just kind of like there, and they have no relation to one another.
No,
but things are just kind of like set up in the forest.
Yeah, I guess this whole society is like within the forest.
Yeah, that's
because there's like
idea.
Infrastructure. There's inns.
Yeah, there's like
smithies.
blacksmitheries. Yeah, yeah.
Weird.
So yeah, the guys are like, yeah, fuck yeah, we'll fuck this guy up. Because like the
everyone
guy
in this universe
justice.
is just looking for an excuse to fight.
Yeah, this is a horrible place. Satan rules this world.
The devil himself.
The devil himself. So yeah, like the giant beats up all the guys.
Nice.
And then like he looks over across the way and he sees Hawk looking at him and he gives him like a nod and then he's in. Doesn't even have to say anything. He's in. God damn it, I'm in.
God damn it, I'm in.
So yeah, and then next we got to get the elf. Elf? All right. That's
sure.
weird, but
those are in this world now.
Elves exist, and they are like Lord of the Rings elves.
Well, that really does a disservice to the Lord of the Rings elves. It's a guy with pointy ears.
They're the Hobbit elves.
Yeah,
they're CGI Legolas elves.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, yeah. So like the elf, he's sitting in the forest, like next to like a smithy, and he's like approached by this like master bowman guy.
Dude, everyone's a fucking charlatan in this world.
Yeah,
they're always trying to like rob you,
make a quick
cheat
buck.
You.
no one knows the value of an honest day's work. So yeah, this is the guy who's good with the bow and his buddy's like this like quick talking kind of guy.
Yeah.
He walks up to the elf and he's like, "Hey, I see you with that bow there. Why don't we do a wager?
But you can't shoot better than my friend over there."
And at first the elf doesn't care, but then like the bow guy shoots an arrow at him and like antagonizes him.
Yeah.
So then like they're having this contest, and like the premise I guess is they tie string around a tree.
Yeah, whoever can shoot the string best.
Yeah. And like the quick talking guy's like right behind the elf, like right before he's about to shoot, and then like Hawk stops him.
Yeah, I don't know. He's gonna cut the bowstring, maybe, or just kill him. I don't know.
Yeah, and we get that implication. Hawk's like, "Oh, let's let this be like a fair wager," and then yeah, the elf wins.
Oh my god, he's so good.
He's so good.
Shoots
the power
so good.
of bad editing makes the arrow go extremely quickly. Yeah, like they do this effect whenever he's like shooting the arrow. Like he doesn't really draw it back. He just like kind of cuts from it being pulled back to it being
it's like stop motion. They like cut back and forth between these two shots they have.
It's pretty dumb. But yeah, the elf wins and he sees a Hawk and he's like, God damn it, I'm in.
Yep. We got another one.
I
guess they all just go way back with Hawk.
Yeah, they never explain how any of them know each other. But they know each other.
That's cool.
Next, or finally, the last one we need is the dwarf.
Ah, yes. The dwarf.
From the mines of Moria.
Oh, yeah, from the Iron Hills.
From the Iron Hills. This is the weirdest one. Like, there's this, like, cult, I guess.
Yeah, they're trying to sacrifice him. They're trying to, like, ritually sacrifice
He's
guy.
tied up on a raft, like, floating down a river, and they're trying to shoot these, like, flaming arrows at him.
Yep.
They're all missing. But then eventually they start hitting. They start getting him. And then Hawk pulls up, like, with the elf and the giant, I think, right?
It might just be him.
But somehow the dwarf gets free. I assume the elf, like, shot.
Well, the dwarf, like, he pulls his hand out.
Oh, so he would have gotten free regardless.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the inspiration of seeing Hawk is what gave him the strength he needed.
Yeah. Yeah, so he gets free and they chase off the cult guys. But it's like, then we get more into, like, this dwarf's personality. And, like...
Yeah. He's not really a dwarf. I mean, props to them for, like, subverting the fantasy trope of dwarves, I guess.
Yeah, he is just kind of like a rogue, I guess.
He's a roguish guy.
Yeah, and like he eats raw fish, which isn't really a dwarf thing.
No.
And he's like very womanizing.
Yeah, and he's like cunning.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's not really things you normally associate with dwarves.
Yeah, maybe they mean like not even like a fantasy dwarf, but it seems because there's an elf.
Yeah.
So I assume.
Yeah. Well, Iron Hills. I mean,
Iron Hills. Yeah.
It's got to be dwarf.
I think
His name is Baldwin.
And he talks about like the fallen like race of dwarfs.
Yeah,
and
I think the elf and the dwarf are like the last of their kind, respectively.
Exactly. And like where like the elf is kind of keeping to the old ways, like archery and stuff. Maybe the dwarf kind of abandoned that.
I mean, this is what they used to do. I mean, they get up to some real shit. Those dwarves.
Yeah. So yeah, the team is together. And they're like,
crack team.
How are we gonna get this gold? We got to get this ransom for the nun because we all care about that, I guess.
Right? Why not?
Why not? Why wouldn't that be what this movie's about?
We're doing a heist.
We gotta plan a heist.
We gotta steal the hunchback slave gold.
That was the plot of Ocean's 14,
yeah,
right?
I
think that was what that was about.
Right.
The hunchback slave gold. George Clooney and Brad Pitt, they really nailed it with that one.
Well, it's ethical thievery.
That's true.
That's
true. Another flashback, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we need more of those to establish this character in any way.
And like this flashback is literally just like Voltan, he pulls up, and like he's there. Like he pulls up to Elaine and Hawk, and like they're in a clearing, and he's like but then we cut back, and like other stuff happens that like isn't really very important, and then we cut back to the flashback, and then we see the rest of it where like Elaine gets him like a hot poker.
Kills Elaine after she blazes his eye with a torch.
So like the deformity on his face, that's because of Elaine, like his once
just a normal burn, I guess, but maybe it's like confused with hatred or something.
And apparently it's Eliana, not Elaine, but it doesn't matter. She dies.
She's gone now.
She never had a name.
Rest in peace.
She was dead. She was created as a character to die.
Seeing a lot of that in these movies.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? What could that say?
What could that say?
Mean? So Eliana dies. Hawk has even more reasons to hate Voltan now, as if he didn't have enough to begin with.
Yeah.
So there's a whole comedy scene of like the dwarf and like the giant. They're bantering, and like the dwarf makes the giant give him his chicken.
Funny bit. Oh, you don't want that? That's holy food. What's holy food? Let me try it. Nom, nom, nom. Oh, is it holy food or is it what is it? Oh, he's eating more because he has to test and make sure. It's not funny. It's not a funny bit.
It's not quite funny. I just wrote this down, but at one point, like the giant is like, "Oh, do you think we'll be safe in this monastery?" And one of the nuns gives a really bad line read. She says, "My son, God protects us."
Yes. And, my son, God protects us.
It's supposed to be read like, my son, God protects us. Yeah. But instead it's my son, comma, God, comma, protects us. As if like her son is God. It's just a bit silly. I mean, maybe that's the real lore here.
Maybe.
Maybe we think that it's supposed to be like Catholicism or whatever, but it's actually just like this one woman's like cult.
Yeah, I mean, I buy it.
I mean, it makes as much sense.
I would rather believe that than believe that they were trying to. Well, I have some trivia to explain some of these things later. But
oh boy. So yeah, I feel like we've just already spent too much time on this movie. But like, there's a slave market. And the guys they heist.
Yeah, they heist. They kill so many people.
Yeah. So they have the gold now. Yay, that's awesome.
Let's go.
Come back to Voltan in his camp. He's like freaking out on his son. The son's about to like draw a knife on him, but he's like, "Oh, don't you do it!" And then he doesn't.
Stupid kid.
And in that tent, like the nun is in like a bird cage, which is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Because I guess he just keeps her around all the time. I don't know why.
He keeps alluding to her like, "Oh, he's saving her for something."
Yeah.
Never really materializes.
A bit strange. So yeah, the son, Voltan's son, Drogo, which like, how does this man have a son? I don't know. And they explain it later, whatever. But yeah, Drogo is rounding around, and he runs into this guy. He was one of the Hunchback's slave running guys. He like worked for the Hunchback. And he's like, "Oh, there's this guy. He ruined our whole operation. His name was Hawk the Slayer."
Hawk, you say?
Hawk? Could that be Hawk the Slayer you're talking about? And it's like, yeah,
that's what I said.
That's the one. Yep. So yeah, and then Drogo monologues to himself.
I'll go get him.
I'll get him. Keep this between you and me, boy. And then my father will see who is Lord of the Dance. That's what he says. My father.
I mean, we all just want to be Lord of the Dance. Come on.
Which, I mean, it's a fun line. And a funner movie would be a very fun line.
Kills him immediately.
Yeah.
So funny. It's always hilarious to tell someone a secret. Like, now you're gonna have to keep this secret.
Yeah, and then just
or I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah,
and you just kill him.
And just kill him anyway.
Because
how else would we know he's evil? And he has a chip on his shoulder. You know, he thinks that his dad sees him as like, you know, young and like irresponsible.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to go raid the North Lords.
Let's go raid the North Lords
or whatever.
And you know, he goes, "Today is the day Drogo comes of age." And the actor, he's like 35.
Yeah, he's just like so old,
old.
Very old.
So you know, today's the day that he comes of age. They run up on the priory with all the nuns, and he busts in, and you know, swords blazing, and dies.
Let's go. Damn it! Damn it!
Yeah, Hawk gets him. He dies.
Yeah, too easy.
It wasn't gonna go well for him.
Too damn easy.
They take him back to Voltan's camp, and you know, this whole movie, Voltan is like not really giving a shit about Drogo, his son, like at all.
I mean, seems like a
with
bad
his dying breath, Drogo's like, "It was Hawk. It was Hawk what did this to me. Hawk killed me.
Pa, it was Hawk. Pa,
it was Hawk."
Kill him, Pa.
He's a no good bad man, Hawk. He's a bad man.
And he dies.
He dies, and Voltan he freaks out. He's like, "Drogo, my son." Yeah, he freaks out. He gets really sad, which is inexplicable because he's not giving a shit about his son at all. And then you know, Voltan he rides up in a rage over to the priory. He tells everybody that, like, you know, they can either hand over Hawk and the gold.
Right.
So
that's just everything.
You still need,
you need a lot of stuff there.
You still need to give me the ransom, but also give me Hawk, or I'll just kill all of you.
Yeah.
And you know, take Hawk's skin from his body or whatever the threat is.
Skin his bones.
Yeah. So they run over to the witch. And they're like, "You're part of the team now. We gotta we gotta hit him. We gotta make
hit him hard and fast.
Hit him hard and fast." So like they create fog in like Voltan's camp.
Nice.
And like they start killing guys because there's like Voltan has too many guys. They have to like cut off some of his people.
Yeah, right.
The plan isn't to like kill Voltan, which is interesting.
Yeah, you would think you would just go over the head of the snake. No.
Yeah, because they have this whole like protracted metaphor. Because like the giant is like, "Oh, you know, when dealing with wasps, you have to take them out nest by nest.
Nest by nest. We're going into the nest."
Which like is strange because you'd think like, oh, you know, hey, to kill a snake, you got to cut off the head.
Yeah.
We got to take out Voltan. He has so many men, but they're all going to be scattered.
They don't
when
give
take
a
out
fuck
Voltan.
when he's dead.
But like that's not the plan. The plan is to like kill a bunch of his guys.
Yeah.
But then later he just has more guys.
There's always more guys.
There's always more guys. That's the motto of these
yeah,
movies.
right. Always more goons.
Always more goons. So yeah, they kill a bunch of guys. They do really well.
Yeah, they're actually slaying.
Yeah, they're slaying.
They're slaying.
They come back. They're Hawk the slang.
Oh yeah.
They come back to the priory, and like there's this one like doubting nun. This whole time she's been like naysaying stuff.
Yeah. We should trust him. Just pay him the bounty. Just give him the gold.
Obviously, trust him.
Shut up.
Shut up, nun.
You don't understand anything about ransoms.
Yeah,
bounties.
exactly. She's too trusting of Voltan's nature. Everyone's always telling him always telling her, oh, obviously he's not gonna like.
Yeah, I mean, such a duplicitous guy.
Yeah, she's like, oh no, he's probably gonna be fine. So like she goes over to his camp, and she's like, I have a plan for how you're gonna get Hawk. If you just give me the main nun, we'll be square. We'll be even.
Leave the church alone.
Leave the church alone.
He won't.
No, of course not.
It's just not his MO.
I mean, just obviously not. I wouldn't.
No.
At this point, you know, I'm destroying the church.
Yeah. I'm pissed. I'm destroying the church.
Yeah. They took my 35-year-old son, my baby
boy.
My little boy. So whatever. The party, they're all sitting around before like the fighting starts. They're watching the door. They start, you know, sleeping, taking shifts.
As you do.
The giant's on shift, and like the doubting nun, he gives him like a brew, the cup of like the finest ale, but she like drops some powder in it before, so we know what's gonna happen. He's gonna like, you know, pass
Fall
out.
asleep.
That's what he does. And then all of Voltan's men and Voltan like bust in. Yeah.
Not good.
Good plan. They got him. Hawk is like tied up and stuff. And like the whole team.
Everybody's tied up.
Everybody's tied up. And like Voltan, he goes through like it's showtime with the Apollo, you know.
Oh yeah.
All of his goons, they're waiting around.
Oh yeah.
And he's like going one by one, like dissing.
Yeah, just fucking with people.
The people in like Hawk's party. It's pretty funny, I guess.
It's good bits all around.
Good bits. I mean, the goons are loving it.
Oh yeah. If I'm a goon at this moment,
they're laughing really
I feel like
hard.
I've won.
And it feels like it's the only authentic moment of like acting in the film when like the goons are like laughing and stuff. I believe it. These are some smarmy goons. But yeah, like the dwarf says that like he knows where Voltan can find the gold because he really wants this gold. That's why he's like kept the party around like and alive.
He does want the gold.
He wants the gold. The dwarf says he knows where it is. Then like
Voltan,
he leans in. He's like, "Oh, really?" Kicks him in the nuts. Yeah, bangs him in the nuts. That's funny.
It's funny and dies for the joke.
Yeah, dies for the joke. It might not have been the nuts. It was like I think he might have kicked him in the face, but like it's weirdly edited.
It's funnier to be the nuts.
Like and yeah, whatever. Like Voltan, he runs off to the wizard.
My eye hurts.
My eye hurts. Yeah, it's his weak spot.
Yeah.
In a video game.
His Achilles eye.
The witch busts in, and she like Nickelodeon gacks a guy. Yeah, like silly string gack. Yeah.
Really funny.
And then she like puts everyone else to sleep. I don't know why the one guy had to get gacked.
Yeah, he is probably dead. Like
underneath all the gack, he's suffocated. That's what they don't tell you.
Yeah,
Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards. Every person who was in that got like carbonite frozen and died.
Yeah.
But they don't show that for whatever reason.
They don't
on the broadcast. But yeah, so like they fast traveled to like Voltan's area, I suppose. Wait, no, like
they just like leave. They leave.
Like, they go somewhere else, and they take the dwarf with them.
Because Baldwin is dying.
And like they put him in a bubble.
Yeah, well, they bury him, and then they put a bubble around him.
They put like a bubble around it.
It's like a bubble, yeah.
It's a very silly bubble.
Well, it's the wild animals.
Yeah, because they don't want the wild animals to eat him. It's like, is that a big problem in this world?
Just dig a deeper grave.
They, I guess, dug like
really shallow. Yeah, they just tossed some dirt over his body.
Be like, well, we have magic bubbles. Just put him
in the bubble. Put him in the fucking bubble. It'll be fine.
It's so like disrespectful. I don't know.
Right. Weird.
Yeah. So like, they get back to the priory where the nuns are.
Yeah.
And the witch
bust back in.
Like forms this like magic flaming whirlpool of like bolts and stuff.
Throw some light up. You know the balls when you bounce them, they light up.
Yeah, that's exactly what they are.
She launches hundreds of those,
and like they kill people, I guess. And the witch, for such like a late addition to the party, she's just doing everything.
Oh, you're doing the most.
Like, what has the giant done really? What is the? I mean, the elf, I guess he is.
Yeah, the elf's killed like 50 people.
Yeah, the elf's pretty
probably.
Good, so yeah, I just wrote down action. Action happens. The elf's killing a lot of people.
Yeah, good for us.
The balls are killing people.
For us.
Yeah, and Hawk, I guess, waited around.
Yeah, Hawk was doing something else. He was like fighting guys in the woods.
Something.
He's late. He's late to the party.
He pulls up late. Everyone's like tied up and stuff. And Voltan is like, "Oh, kneel before me before you die.
I'll kill your giant friend."
I'll kill you. And Hawk's like, "Brother, if you had any kinship for me, allow me just to pray to do my rights before I die." And Voltan's like, "Okay,
oh, sure, pray."
Yeah, why not?
I'm a pious man.
Oh, yeah, I'm a man of God, I suppose.
After desecrating this church,
I once was at least. So yeah, Hawk is like he's holding his cross necklace, he's praying. So yeah, like the giant is like tied up. Everyone's tied up. And like Hawk takes off his necklace and like swing.
Turns out it's a dagger, baby.
And a knife comes out of it, and like he throws it at the giant's like arm ropes, like the thing's holding his arm up.
He's quick on the uptake. The giant immediately frees himself, kills some random guys.
Yeah. So I guess because Eliana gave him the necklace earlier, And it was like,
you'll
need it when the time comes.
Yep.
And I assumed she meant like to pray.
Yeah, right. To exorcise a demon.
To exorcise a demon, but no, there's just a knife in it.
Yep.
There's a switchblade.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Always stay strapped.
And like, I'm remembering now. At one point in the movie, she says, like in one of the flashbacks, she says something to the effect of like, "Oh, my blade will come to your need when you need it." And I assumed that meant like she was like a warrior, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." She's like, whatever.
Yeah, that's what you think, huh?
Yeah, but no, it's like literally it's the blade and the cross. That's fun.
Cool stuff.
I'm sure Jesus would have loved a
literal
sword within the cross, his symbol. So yeah, then Voltan and Hawk have to have their epic battle. We've been waiting the whole movie for this.
We've been waiting
for these two legendary combatants.
Dun, dun, dun.
And it's just like
Bum,
this like slow-mo fight. It's really bad.
Yeah, it's actually a 45-second fight.
Yeah.
And that's why they put it in slow-mo.
Oh, wow.
Not even a full minute.
Because, it goes on for
45 seconds.
A while. Like, in the film, I feel. Yeah. Or are you saying that, like, the fight is 45 seconds in the movie?
The original fight.
It was shot. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay,
so they make it longer than that. It's like a couple minutes.
It's a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Which, like, do the math on that,
Yeah, do the math on that. Well, every movement is just so
very
slow.
protracted. And you think, like, when it starts, it's like, oh, okay, we're doing, like, a cool slow-mo to, like, lead in. I guess that's interesting. And then it's going to, like, speed up and stuff.
No.
But no.
No.
And Voltan dies. Voltan dies like a dog.
Killed him.
Just kills him, and he slumps over.
Boosh.
Yeah, and like throughout this movie, whenever anyone gets hit by a sword, like there's never like a blood effect or anything. The sword never like has a good like sound effect.
They always go for like the torso slash.
Yeah, like,
so they get you across the torso, and then you just lean over and you grab your stomach and you go ah.
And the sound effect goes boom.
It goes plop.
Yeah, just a very strange onomatopoeia.
The sound design is terrible. It's really bad.
And the party takes the gold. And by the party, I guess at this point, I just mean Hawk and the Giant.
Yeah, everyone else is dead.
They're the only ones still alive. Which I guess that's how you want to end. That's the happy note you want to end your movie on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a ghoul comes and carries off Voltan's body. I'll have need of you yet.
Well, the wizards are gathering in the south, and we have to go stop them in the next movie.
The wizards are gathering in the south. To the south, you say? Oh,
all right,
on
you
to the
bastard.
Next movie.
I guess I'll come along.
You dirty slut. you dirty slut. All right,
harlot.
You bitch. Let's do it. that was the Giant to Hawk, by the way.
Yeah, Giant talking to Hawk.
That was those two men talking to each other. I have to iterate.
But yeah, no, we don't see these beautiful boys ever again. The last movie.
They ride off into nothing. They ride off into the end of the movie, and that's it.
The end of time,
which is what they deserve. Humanity has its faults. We have done nothing bad enough to warrant.
Well, hey, in 2009, we almost got one.
Whoa, wait, was that
2009?
Another
this
Tales
is a
of the Ancient
1980
Empire.
film. Yeah, the tagline read, "The Slayer returns, the hunt begins." It was never produced.
The Slayer Returns, The Hunt Begins is the worst title I think I've ever heard.
After they botched the title, it just killed all momentum for the film.
Yeah.
It's funny that we didn't get that.
Well, a lot of bad movies have gotten sequels.
Yeah.
But maybe none quite this bad have gotten sequels.
Yeah, right. I don't know. It just doesn't really make sense that this movie got made at all, to be honest.
Well, like it's
not great.
Produced by the people who wrote it and stuff.
Yeah, and also the score was done by one of the guys who co-wrote it.
Huh.
So good for him.
Good for him.
He did a good job.
That was good. He did good on that.
Yeah, Harry Robertson, he put in work.
Yeah, because I just assumed because the score had any kind of aesthetic quality to it that they got just someone else to do it.
Yeah.
It was a different movie soundtrack or something.
And hey, wouldn't you know, these two guys who wrote and produced this movie were inspired by Conan the Barbarian.
Crazy. That's some interesting trivia,
other
isn't
sword
it?
and sorcery. And you know what's interesting? Because it's really hard to tell what this movie was supposed to be in actuality. On the one hand, they said they were inspired by the sword and sorcery genre. But this guy also said that he was interested in making a historical film. Okay, so that's, I guess, where the Catholicism comes in.
Well,
But had the idea for the mind sword.
Yeah.
And was like, I guess I'm going to make it a fantasy movie instead.
I was about to say. So this guy, he wanted to make, like a historical epic, historical drama.
Uh-huh.
Then it was like, oh, but it would be really cool if like Charlemagne had like a mind sword.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, they were writing the script. They had already started writing the script as a historical film.
Jeez.
And he was like, now wouldn't it be interesting if there was like a magical mind stone? Oh, man. Wouldn't that make history more compelling?
Yeah. And it's like, that's just not how you do it. I feel.
I don't think so.
You can't start from the mind sword and then.
No.
Yeah.
No, you can't. I mean, this whole movie feels really off.
I guess, that really asks, what is the point of fantasy,
Mm-hmm.
Is it just like pure escapism, just to like be like a departure from whatever, like the historical or whatever, or is it like something that like has any kind of like intention or like value to it?
Yeah.
Outside of that, it seems as though
they rewrote the whole movie right around the Mind Stone, and then it plays little to no real effect.
No, of course, because it's just a normal sword for the most part. A normal sword with like a glowy hilt. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He could have done everything he did in this movie with a normal sword.
It's true.
Yeah, people didn't like this movie at the time.
Writing a movie that's like not a fantasy thing, and then
turning it into
retrofitting it into fantasy. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel like so many things went wrong with this movie. Not even
the
like
fact
in
we
the
had
production.
To watch it,
yeah, it was
just
wrong.
I feel
it was just a wrong. It was the wrong kind of movie.
Yeah.
Something about it felt really wrong, and I really spent all night thinking about what is it.
Yeah.
What is the one thing about this film that just makes it not work at all? Is it the acting? Is it acted poorly? Is it
sure.
The direction? It's definitely directed poorly.
I would say so. And a general lack of direction, I think.
Yeah, right. I mean, was the action terrible? Were the effects really hit or miss?
Yeah. Of course, all these
things are true.
Yeah,
but it just seems like we've seen these things before, and they haven't quite ruined a film.
That's true.
Like they ruined this one.
That is true. Like the movie we talked about last week was also a stinker. It was a bad one.
Yep.
But it didn't feel like quite as soul draining, as mind crushing as this film.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend this movie to anyone, I think.
No, not a soul. It has a cult following now, as many bad movies do.
Sure. Yeah.
Does that mean it deserves to have a cult following?
No.
Just because it has one?
No. Well, cults, when have they ever acted rationally?
Yeah, right. I don't trust the opinion of cult members on much.
Yeah. Besides Kool-Aid, they have some good
sure. They've been perfecting that for a long time.
Kool-Aid, tennis shoes, whatever.
Yeah.
Cults going for.
Whatever they're doing nowadays.
Yeah.
I just think this could have been a better movie because, it's going to sound radical. I kind of like the script.
Yeah. There's good dialogue occasionally, like the introduction scenes were silly and fun.
Yeah, it's missing. It's just missing something because it doesn't feel natural.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel natural.
What would you like? Did you come to any kind of verdict on like what was the thing that was missing?
I feel like, the character writing is weak.
Well, yeah, namely the fact that no one has any arcs or strong characterization.
Because I guess they're trying to like kind of throw us into this world where it's like, oh, this party, they've done adventures before or whatever. But you still have to kind of explore like them as people.
They can't just be.
You can't just say, well, they are people. You know, it's like, well, then what's their deal? What's their deal?
Yeah.
I don't know. And Hawk gets the least characterization out of anyone.
Yeah. Hawk sucks. Hawk is awful.
You can't. Yeah, and the flashbacks just do nothing for me. Do nothing at all. Because he doesn't give a fuck.
No.
Like he'll flash back to his wife dying. When his dad dies, I guess he's like mad, but that's really all.
You killed my father.
How dare you, you bitch!
You bastard!
I'm gonna get you.
Yeah.
And that's really that's the only acting he's giving it.
It's about the most you get from him.
And I do think this compares kind of well, like in terms of the side characters, to a movie like Sword of the Valiant. Because the funny friar guy in that movie is good.
Oh, he's good.
He's hilarious. He's really good. He's what like these other side characters want to be.
Yeah, exactly.
But they never reach that.
Yeah. They
just don't reach that. Does it help that everyone in the film is just a white guy?
Yeah. Like, at one point, the party's all together. They're all in like the witch's tent.
Yeah.
And you're just looking at these guys, and it's like, I don't know. Is this like what are we looking at here? Is this like the board of like I don't know Home Depot? I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's I don't know. It looks like just a group of men you'd find in like American Eagle or something. It's just not good. It's not good.
This is like the karaoke group that goes up and like sings I don't know, Hotel California. Sung by the Eagles, you know.
Yeah, these are like the people I play Magic the Gathering with. They're just
come on.
Sorry, guys.
Come on.
No.
Come on.
No, they're cool.
That's mean.
They're cooler than these guys.
That's mean.
I don't know. Yeah, I would have liked a little more diversity, I think. And I don't know. That feels very like, oh, you need diversity in a movie.
Yeah.
But it's like,
but maybe
you need diversity in a movie.
I mean, you know, even just on like an aesthetic level, it is just more visually interesting when like there are people who look different on screen,
and they're not just of varying heights.
Because like even because whatever I'm thinking of like you know the Lord of the Rings movies. This is like this is clearly aping off like the book.
Yeah,
but I'm thinking of like Lord of the Rings movies, and it's like I mean racially how much diversity?
Not very diverse at all.
But it's like there's different like people bring different like screen presence to the film.
It's true.
And it seems like, you know, in lieu of having actors that have any kind of stage presence, you could at least have them not all look the exact same.
Well, in this movie, 1980, it's like, it's pretty early, I guess. It's not super late in the development of the genre.
Yeah.
But, you know, the way they write women, it's hard to tell which is worse. Whether you get a movie that's like mega objectification or you get a movie that's like negative characterization.
Yeah, either they're all dead or it's like a witch that is only there for like her cool fireballs.
You don't even see her like face.
No. She's always in like shadow or she has like a bandana over her eyes.
Not good. Because I don't know, like some of the movies, at least the movies where people are kind of objectified. I'm thinking Ator.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Ator.
I'm thinking about Rune and Ator.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm thinking of Rune. She has stuff going on.
Ator is also objectified, though.
Yeah,
so it's like,
that's true.
Okay, it's everyone's just naked in this movie.
Right.
And we're going to start from that point and assume, okay, you know, let's not read into everyone being naked.
And obviously there are still things to say there, like the male gaze and stuff. Like, Ator is naked in a way that, like, it's supposed to make the male audience feel empowered.
Yeah, he's supposed to look very masculine because the ways in which he's naked.
But it's like, still, I feel like there is more. Rune has more of an ability to like act upon the plot than like this character, like
she has
Eliana,
interest
because she's dead. Because she's just
it seems so basic to give characters like wants and desires.
Yeah, Rune likes gold. You know,
Rune likes
gold.
I never thought I would go back to Rune liking gold and say that's an example of good characterization.
That's feminism, baby. That's feminism. That's what that is.
But at least it's better than this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like if you can't write a single female character to have like any sort of arc, interest, backstory, then how can you write any character?
Exactly.
How can you be expected to do anything right?
And we've touched on this idea like frequently in movies like this, but it's just like the kinds of like sexism that you see in these movies, like whatever you think of as like, oh, it's just, hey, it's another time, man. You know, we're just thinking, we're using our modern lenses to talk about these things. But it just like, it makes these movies so fucking boring. Like when you don't treat every single character like a character. When like there are certain like whatever characters you can just treat as like shorthand.
Yep.
Oh, this is just this guy's girlfriend, whatever. This character's just
we don't have to worry about this. Yeah.
Because then like the second you are able to justify that with like one character, then you know just see every other character. Like, exactly. Yeah. You can make your main character just have nothing going on besides just being like a guy who's around.
Which is sad. Which is not good.
Yeah.
Makes for bad cinema.
And it's like, I don't know. I don't know if like sexism makes movies bad or if sexists just make bad movies.
Could be both.
It could be both.
Could be both.
Yeah.
Well, because you can't, I think you have to be able to understand some part of the human experience beyond like big strong guy as a sword.
Just pure like cultural symbology.
Yeah. Like you don't, if you're like unable to see women as like on equal standing with men in real life, then when you enter into the like film space, it's like you're not going to write any character well because you can't understand people. And
like so much of sexism, and Bell Hooks talks about this, like it comes from a source of like for men at least, like a fear of like different like variability in expression of like masculinity, and like when you're sexist to that degree, you're gonna be afraid of like writing a male character with like any kind of like vulnerability or any kind of thing that deviates from just like stoic strong man.
Yeah,
and like that's just very much what Hawk is in this movie. Not this, I don't know anything about like the writers of this movie, but it's like it feels like this movie is emblematic at least of like a general kind of like bad character writing. I don't know if the writers specifically themselves are like sexist or weird or whatever, but like
sure,
I don't know. It seems at least culturally this is a cultural artifact that points towards bad kind of stuff.
Because he doesn't even have like any kind of like emotion. Like at least other characters have love interests.
He's only capable of feeling anger. That's the only emotion that he feels. Just
and
anger.
Is that
and
partly
then,
on
not
the
that
acting?
Much. Yeah.
Like I would be interested to get this screenplay and then try to recreate it myself and see if I could make a better movie off of it.
I think anyone could.
I think anyone probably could.
I think anyone could.
Well, another sad week. Another sad week.
God, remember when we were talking about Troy?
Talking about good movies.
How good was that?
Well, we're gonna, get to some good movies next week because it's lucky number 20.
Yeah.
Which means we're watching Conan with a K. Just kidding, guys.
Conan with a K.
Just kidding.
No. You've waited long enough.
Sorry, pulling your leg there.
You've been waiting like 10 episodes since the first fake out.
Yeah, right. And maybe if you jump straight.
I think it was actually. It's been 15 because 5 was Conan.
Was Conan? Yeah, I think it was.
I think. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, hey, here we are.
Congrats.
Conan
Congrats
the Barbarian.
on making
Arnold
it all the way.
Schwarzenegger.
1982, 4.
1982. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's 82.
Good year.
It's a good year. Good year for cinema because this movie came out.
Yeah. Golden Globe Award winner.
That's right. And that means something.
They don't hand those out to
carries
anybody.
Weight.
They don't hand those out to any, Tom, Dick, and Tracy.
No, they don't. But they do hand them out to Arnold's.
Tom, Dick, and Arnold.
Tom, Dick, and Arnold.
Yeah, it's a good one. I think it's
the one that inspired it all.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Well, inspired a certain subset of movies.
Well,
like the one we just watched.
Yeah. Yeah. And was it cultural legacy for good or ill? We can maybe talk about that.
Yeah. But hey, be there or be square.
Yeah, square jawed like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty big. 20th episode, and also,
Yeah, it's for a culture, for the podcast, for life.
For life.
It's a big moment.
For life.
For life.
Sorta Sorcery. For life. Yeah.
And
that's
life.
number 4, life with the Y.
Yeah. That's how we do it here.
Bye.
See ya.
Yeah.